good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve skill-based matchmaking. At least I hope so. In this video, we're going to be doing a quick review for the DT-29, which is the only machine gun for the Russians in BR4. That said, since I don't have anything in the same BR to compare it to directly, I figured I would just analyze the gun more deeply while providing some gameplay. But to get started, the DT-29 is essentially a tank version of the earlier DP-27 and DPM machine guns from earlier BRs. Main difference is going to be the higher magazine size by comparison, and the fact that it's lighter than its infantry variant due to the adjustable metal stock. Although the stats may tell you a different story when you actually look at them for whatever reason. Speaking of the stats though, we're getting a max damage of 12, which is very normal for machine guns, and above the killing threshold out to 100 meters approximately, where the damage will drop down to 10.8, basically a 1 to 2 hit kill 90% of the time. Muzzle velocity is coming in at 815 meters per second, which is par for the course when it comes to Russian machine guns in general, so nothing crazy to note there, but you do have a pretty good speed when it comes to how fast the bullet will actually reach the target, so minimal shot leading will be required unless you're fighting outside 100 meters, which is actually pretty hard to do in this game. But something that will seem to limit your reach when it comes to this gun a good bit is going to be the shot deviation, which sits at a pretty ass stat of 44 and is identical to the previously unlocked DPM, so no upgrade to be had there. That said, I do highly recommend letting out the trigger every couple of seconds when shooting, unless a group of soldiers are right in your face, of course. Rate of fire on the DT is going to be coming in at 550 rounds per minute, which is no different from the DPM. And honestly, if you think about it for a second, that kind of makes sense, as essentially this is the same weapon platform, so I don't really have anything good nor bad to say there. But the reload speed on this gun is worse than the previous unlock by a smidge at 3.9 seconds in comparison to 3.6, and that is quite frankly amazing and worth it considering how much our magazine size went up. Recoil control percentage is par for the course at 10%, but we are seeing a notable improvement in the vertical category from the previous unlocked DPM, coming in at a vertical stat of 33. Unfortunately, the horizontal stat got much worse, moving up to 19, and that is easily seen in the recoil pattern, as we got some bursts that veer off to the left, we got some bursts that veer off to the right, and we even got some bursts that have a lot of zigzagging. So I guess the reduction in the vertical recoil maybe comes from the added weight of the larger magazine, and the addition of the horizontal recoil maybe comes from the stock being worse. I'm not 100% sure, but I do recommend mounting or crouching or going prone with this gun, whenever you can to mitigate that. To loop back around and talk about the magazine size a little bit more, in comparison to our previous BR3 unlock, the DPM, we are now going from 47 bullets per magazine to 63, which is a gargantuan upgrade. So reasonably, I'd say that's at least 5 to 10 more kills per magazine if you aren't just wasting ammo. A very notable upgrade indeed, but what I'd also like to give some praise to or some shine to is the iron sights, which aren't the best thing in the world, but it's one of those things where, like, if I'm being completely honest, I do find them to be immensely better than any machine gun that we had previous to this one. And my only gripe, if I had to think about one, is that the front post might be a little too bulky for my personal taste, but that's really like splitting hairs or nitpicking at the end of the day. Better is better. Something that I would like to ask, and I guess pertaining to the enlisted description, is if you're going to say that the gun is lighter than the infantry model, why is the weight for both guns congruently listed at 10 kilograms flat? Thinking about it a little bit more, like, even if you're going to do that, maybe the DT-29 could get a better sprint factor or something, but for the mobility stats to be completely the same across both guns is very contradictory, to say the least. And it just makes me ask again, like, why would you say something in the description of the gun, but then when I look at the stats, the numbers are telling me something different? I don't get it. Something else I like to do for this gun is compare it to the contemporary machine guns for Germany that are also in BR4. And when you look at both of the options that Germany has in that category, they both shoot way faster by comparison. And I would also say that the recoil is way better just taking a glance at it. But something else that you would derive from that information is that you would be reloading a lot more by default when you use those machine guns on the corresponding faction, so that is something to note there as well. Essentially, in comparison to Germany, your biggest advantage is probably going to be the fire sustainment and how fast you can reload in comparison to them. But your biggest enemy with this gun is definitely going to be the horizontal recoil. And for that main reason, your thought process whenever you're using this gun should be to take advantage of any recoil reducing mechanic. But other than that, I would say it's a pretty solid gun overall, especially for moving from BR3 to BR4 with the Russians. I just hope that they take a more in-depth look at it and do something about the weight to make the description actually line up with the stats of the gun. But overall, I would probably give the DT-29 a solid 7.3 out of 10. I do enjoy using it, and I do hope they add something else in the BR4 category for the Russians so I can compare it to something else in the future. But let me know what you guys think about the DT-29 if you have used it or if you plan on using it in the future. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? And yeah, other than that, I'm going to let the rest of this gameplay play out. I do appreciate you guys very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Don't forget to aim for that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well if you find better teammates in the pretty skill-based matchmaking. And yeah, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Black Dot out.